So in this segment, we're going to be turning Al here into the Grim Reaper by painting his face like a skull. And I'm pretty much just going to be using grease paint. We're going to start by just giving him a really, really good base coat of white. And the white that I'm using is from, it's a little bit more expensive makeup, but it really is, it's really, really thick, and it's gonna cover up really, really nicely. And if you're running low on white, you can kind of think of where the holes are going to be on the face where you're not going to be coloring with white, where you're going to have like a hole in the jawbone, say. You can conserve makeup and save yourself a lot of time and effort if you just leave that blank to begin with. With the initial base coat on though, that's when you kind of outline where the rest of the stuff that you're going to be drawing is, and then we can go over and put more white over it when we need to. So what I'm going to do is just use a paintbrush and some black cream paint. What I'm going to do is, like I said, outline where you're going to be painting. So what I'm doing right here, these right here would be the separation between the top and bottom jaw of the human skull. This is just typical black lipstick. And I've actually never even used this on anybody's lips. It always goes on the face when I want to fill a big space and I want it really black. This works really well and it's easy to use. I'll show you. Okay, now that I have that done, allows me to see where I want the nose to sit. Now I'm going to outline around the eyes where I'm going to go. And keep in mind to not do completely perfect circles around his eyes. Try sharper edges, more abrupt, to give it more of a bony feel, I guess. Because the softer it is, the less it's just gonna, the more it's just gonna look like he has black circles around his eyes. And for smaller details like this, like around the eyes, to get that nice edge, I would recommend painting it like I am right here, but you can do the majority of the eye in that lipstick that I just showed you, but the lipstick, it's not quite as accurate. So like I said, for the finer areas, it's best to use a brush so it doesn't get everywhere. And the lipstick, it is a little bit of a heavier makeup, like the weight of it, that you can feel it on your face. So don't go too heavy, because honestly, it goes on pretty easy, but you don't want to just cram it on there because you're, like I said, it's heavier and you're going to be able to feel it. All right, now if I could get you to open your eyes and look up. Thank you. Now that that's done, I want to go to a little bit of shading on the side of the face, on these parts right here. And what I'm going to do is just want a little bit of black, just the same black I've been using on this makeup sponge. Shading along the jawbone. Now it looks like I lost a little bit of that black line, but that's fine because I'm going to go over that again, and then right after that, go over it with some white, just like this. And now I have a better idea of what the whole thing's going to look like. I can actually outline this darker. Before I do the white, since I still have black on my brush, I'm going to do the teeth real quick. And teeth, they're not that hard, but I do have one solid piece of advice, and this goes when you're drawing teeth on a piece of paper or on somebody's face. It's always the same. Not everybody has the same amount of number of teeth in their mouth or anything, but it's pretty common that they all start right here in the middle. So this is where I always recommend starting, and then do one on each side first so you don't get an odd number of teeth. Now, I'm just going to outline the jaw a little bit. Just going to put a little bit too much white on here. That's fine though, because we can go back over it with black. But like I said, if you know where your white paint is going to lie, then you can save yourself paint and time and having to do exactly what I'm doing right now by outlining it first, but that's fine. And another thing that I would recommend doing, you don't have to do it, it just adds a little bit, And just do some like little dimples down here below where the lips would be, where the teeth would be. Little marks. Another thing that's pretty common when you see painted skull faces like this is a big crack. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that too. And I'm going to start right here. And you really want these lines as straight as possible, because if it's not very straight, it'll just look like a vein. I'm just going to do a little dimple right here as well, a little skeletal detail. And we'll do one on this side for good measure. And what I'm going to be doing right here is highlighting his face, just the most important parts with some white, some really, really bright white. So hopefully that'll brighten everything up as far as making it have a little bit more depth, because that's ultimately what we're trying to do, create depth where there is none. And that's the key on pulling this off successfully. Alright, so what I'm going to do, still with the highlighting, I'm just going to highlight each one of these teeth so they pop out just a little bit more. They don't look quite as gray as the rest of his face. So this is the completed Grim Reaper, and no Grim Reaper would be complete without his hood.